Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever booktube video. If you don't know me already, my name's Avery and I'm an 18-year-old in high school who is figuring out how to manage time for books and school and dance and everything while also starting a booktube channel in the new year. Today's video, I got inspiration from Laura Reads. Apparently there's a trend going around of newbie reads or newbie tags. I don't really know, but it's basically a series of questions that whoever's making the video, which is me, answers the series of questions that are given so that their viewers can get to know them better. So I have 11 questions today from this tag, and then I have 10 questions from my Instagram, which I can link down below, from my followers on there, and let's get started. So I have my little notepad here of all the questions, and I'm kind of just answering them without really thinking about it. Okay, I really wanted to start this channel because I wanted to be a part of the booktube community. I really discovered booktube this year, 2023. I just fell in love. Like, I completely fell in love with all of these people that I was watching talk about books and talk about their passion towards them and recommend different ones and do these book challenges. I just knew that I had to be a part of it, and I had to be a part of it in more than just watching the videos and liking them and commenting. So here I am. I also have been known to give all of my friends a lot of book recommendations. I would literally sit in this little corner back here, put up my phone, and I would just read the synopsises of a bunch of books that I think that my friends would like and just send like 10-minute long videos to them. I realized that that wasn't that practical when I could just be making YouTube videos instead. As I mentioned, I'm 18, so I have a lot of things going in my life right now. I'm entering adulthood. I'm figuring out kind of my own paths in life, and obviously I'm still in school and I will be going to college in the fall of 2024. So I have a lot on my plate, but I feel like I can be a great example to other people that you can still fit time in for reading and you can still meet your reading goals that you have without having really high expectations. I also see a lot of booktubers out there that have these like reading goals of 100+ books. I just want to be here to show that you don't always have to have that high of reading goals. As long as you're reading and as long as you're enjoying the books that you are reading, it doesn't matter the book count. This year, I think I read 36 books, and I'm proud of that. Like, I feel like I read a lot, and I really enjoyed a lot of the books that I did read, so that's something to be proud of. Another thing that's kind of fun and unique about me is I am an aspiring author. I want to go to college for English, and I hope to use that degree to be an author someday. Currently, I am writing a book. It's going very slow, but we're gonna get there, and I also just kind of wanted to document my journey of that on here as well. Obviously, it'll be mainly book content, but every now and again, you'll get a little update of how my writing is going as well. Okay, I am so excited for this channel because my mom has her own YouTube channel. It is The Menu Maid, so go check her out. She does kitchen, cooking, she does a bunch of videos, so go check her out. She has some great recipes if you're looking for those, but I've just seen her form this great community, and I just wanted to form my own community of people who loved the same things that I was talking about. I've also just seen her work so hard on these videos to get so much feedback, and she has grown so much, not only from learning her own stuff, but also from the ideas and feedback that other people have given her. So I'm so excited to be able to get my own feedback for my videos. On to the next question. Okay, I feel like there is two main reasons that a lot of people read. The first one being escapism. I for sure relate to both of these ideas, so I'll just talk about escapism first. But just the feeling of engrossing yourself in the world that a character is in and escaping your own thoughts and reality to think about only on what the characters are doing or whatever they're struggling with is just so powerful. The second one being relatability. I find that a lot of the characters I read, especially in realistic fiction, literary fiction, I relate to a lot of the characters and the struggles that they're facing, you know, mental health or relationships or growing up. Like, there's so many things that an author can put into books to make the characters relatable and to make their reader appreciate the characters even more. So those are the two reasons I love reading, especially. Okay, this next question is kind of hard because I've been reading since like I was a baby. My mom would read to me, and then elementary school when I learned how to read, I just flew reading levels. I was always reading like top of my class. I've loved reading ever since I was a kid, so I don't really know what particular book got me into reading specifically. But the two things that I can think of is Wait For Me by Caroline Leach. That was really like the first kind of mature book that I read. It's a romance that is based in World War II times. It's kind of like forbidden love. That book to this day still has my heart, and I will never forget reading that book in my bed. I was just sobbing. I feel like that was like the first book that really got me into reading romance, especially. In elementary school, I loved Sharon Creech books. I just remember I would read them in my book clubs. I would borrow them from the library, and I actually have some of them to this day on my shelf just because they were some of my favorites. Okay, starting this next question off, I just wanted to shout out a couple booktubers that I love and adore. We have Destiny, Larry, Steph, Haley, and Sarah. They have made me fall in love with book talk and books even more. I've gotten so many great recommendations, and I'm sure that you can tell back there I have so many books on my physical TBR that I need to read, and I have bought because of these women and just how excited they get over these books. So I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys for getting me into Booktube. But I guess the questions I would ask, especially after seeing a couple, specifically Destiny and Steph, doing their Christmas vlogs and their 12 days bookmas, you know, those videos, I want to know how you time manage. I'm so bad with time management, and I just want to know how you get your videos filmed and edited, tips for that, as well as editing tips. I know little to nothing about editing videos. Another question I have is how you got comfortable filming. I feel like, I hope I'm not looking awkward, but I feel a little awkward filming, especially because you're just staring at a camera. In my case, I'm just staring at my phone. I feel like I would love some tips on just how to get comfortable in front of a camera. Okay, I feel like there can be a lot of challenges with starting something new, especially a YouTube channel where you're literally putting yourself out there to the world. I think the biggest challenge for me is just getting over what other people are going to think about me, because obviously there's going to be people out there that are going to dislike my videos or send rude comments, or, you know, I'm still in high school, so I'm sure there's going to be peers that are going to see my videos and not like them or give me crap about them. But I think just getting over that will benefit me a lot. But it'll definitely be hard to get over because I am one to really take into consideration people's comments and people's feedback towards me. So I think just getting over people's opinions, if they're bad, that'll definitely be a hump to get over. Okay, I kind of already talked about this a little bit, but I started reading in elementary school basically as soon as I learned how to read, I just flew and started reading a bunch, and just my reading level hiked up really high. But honestly, 2022 was the year that I really started caring about book goals and reading books, and I really tried to like read more. And then 2023, I have just, you know, grown even more and started reading even more than last year. I've really started my book buying addiction. This question has a really short answer because I will literally read anywhere. I will read when it's loud. I will read when it's quiet. I will read with background noise. I will read in my bed. I will read outside. I will read literally anywhere. People used to get frustrated with me because we would go boating and I wouldn't even go swimming. I would just be sitting on the boat reading, and the boat would be like driving somewhere and it would be super loud. I would be reading, not even bothered. So I just read anywhere, anytime. I don't really have a specific favorite reading place. Maybe the beach. I love reading at the beach, but I don't live by the beach, so you know, I don't get to read there very often. My favorite genre is definitely romance or dark romance. I've gotten really into fantasy this year as well though, and I do read a few thriller books here and there. This next year in 2024, I really want to read a Stephen King book and get into horror because I love horror movies and I'm such a Halloween fan that I think I would just love reading horror books, but I've just never really done it before. But I do love romance. Romance and fantasy are my top two right now. Romance I would definitely have the most recommendations for as well. For this last question, it is, what does my book collection look like? So I'm gonna take you guys over this way and just give you like a little mini tour. Okay, so this is my book nook area. My parents carved out this little square in the wall for when I was a kid to play in. And as I've grown up, we just turned it into a little library. Over here, I have my TBR cart, or my physical TBR cart. That also includes all of these books on the ground, except for these two. I just need to put those on my shelf. But all of these books on the ground I have to read as well. Over here we have standalone books, including romances and thrillers, and these are just all my standalones. And then over here we have my series that I've read. And then, not to jump around, but I do have two more series over here on this little shelf. That is all I have for the Booktube newbie tag questions, but now I have 10 questions from my Instagram followers. So the first one is favorite comfort book, and I guess that would have to be Wait For Me. I haven't read it in a while, but I have read it a total of 15 times. It's definitely a comfort book, I will say that. The next question is my favorite romance trope, and that would probably have to be friends to lovers, especially childhood best friends to lovers. I love the idea of someone being so close to each other as best friends and then forming a relationship out of that. Going along with that, I have least favorite romance trope. Okay, my eyes are so bloodshot because it's super late right now and I'm up editing this, but I had said that I don't have a least favorite romance trope, but I do, and it's miscommunication trope. I literally hate when characters cannot express themselves or communicate, so that's my least favorite. The next question I got is Colleen Hoover, yay or nay? This is a really tough question because if you saw them, all of the annotated books, those are all my Colleen Hoover books that I have, which I've kind of made it a habit to annotate them. I do enjoy Colleen Hoover. I feel like her books are very easy reads for me. They're just kind of quick, like simple to get through. I don't know about a lot of the drama from her as a person, so I'm not going to get into that. I will say I don't like when people hate on other readers for their books and the type of books that they like. So I'm not a fan of all of the like hate that goes towards readers for liking her, but there is a lot of questionable things that she puts into her books that I'm like, why was that needed? Like, I don't understand how you had to describe it that way or why you had to add that scene in. So I'm kind of middle ground with her. I do have books of hers that I want to read in the new year, but I do kind of just use her books as like an easy read. Okay, the next question is the best sequel that I've read, and I really don't read a whole lot of sequels. I either read standalones or series. I don't really have like duologies that I read a lot. Tell me down below in the comments if you don't think this is a sequel, but I'm counting it as one, and that's Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. I just count that as a sequel because, you know, you have the Twilight series and then Midnight Sun is like just that little extra book of Edward's perspective, so I kind of count it as a sequel, but it's also not a sequel because it's not really after the events. But I would have to say that that is the best sequel I've read, considering that I don't read a lot of sequels. Up next, I got the question, period dramas or modern romances? Easy answer, modern romances all the way. The 7th question I have from my Instagram followers is, what is the most overhyped book talk book? And I would have to say It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I will still never ever get over how overhyped that book is. I still hear about people reading it and I still see TikToks about it all the time. I will just say, like, I got so excited for that book and it's still good. Like, I still appreciate it, but it wasn't nearly as good as people were making it out to be. So that's definitely the most overhyped book talk book. Next, I have my favorite books / authors. I'm 100% gonna say the ACOTAR series by Sarah J Maas. This year, I am definitely going to be reading the Throne of Glass series by her. I've already read Assassin's Blade and I'm already like so thrilled to dive into another one of her series. ACOTAR is still going on. She's still making more books for it. So I'm really excited for what she has next in this series. But all-time favorite is ACOTAR right now. Out of the ACOTAR series, I loved A Court of Silver Flames the most, just in case you guys were wondering. My last question is, what are my current reads? I'm reading Shakespeare's Hamlet, which this is for school. This is not a book that I would normally read, but honestly, it's not that bad. Like, I'm kind of enjoying it, so that's a plus, but I'm supposed to have this done by the time winter break is over, and I don't even think I'm halfway. So we have to get going on this. My for fun book right now that I'm reading is In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. This book I found at the library's used bookstore because they have like a little bookstore inside my library. I'm honestly really enjoying it so far. I just have been kind of reading slower. I feel like I'm in a holidays myself, you know. I've just been so busy with holiday stuff. So hopefully I'll finish this before the new year. I'll definitely have to finish this one before the new year though, because it's for school. With all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something new about me and found me relatable or interesting enough to go and check out the other videos on my page. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Bye guys!